Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Golf's Perfect Imperfections with Sean Savin Moo.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in and watching. We got Sean in Mexico right now at the Mexico Open. Say hello, Sean.
How you doing, guys?
Good. You're on the other side of this now. Now you're our guest.
Isn't that cool? So I'm at the Mexico Open right now, and we had a pretty fabulous week. It's the final day, and it is looking to be like an exciting finish. We got Tony Finau. I followed him for a few holes at one point this week, and he's firing on all cylinders. His driver's doing well. His iron, his approaches are, he's shaping his shots the way he wants to. He's putting well. And here comes John Rahm with a 61 yesterday.
Yeah,
Holy.
that was
Wasn't that amazing?
Yeah, it was.
And then look at Akshay Bhatia. Can you believe him?
Yeah, nice lefty making the moves.
He's tied for second place right now, rookie on the PGA Tour. And, I can't believe how slim he is, in person.
Yeah.
It's incredible how much speed he can generate with that body.
He's pretty wiry.
Just phenomenal. So I think the pound for pound longest player is putting you to the test there, Sav.
Tony seems to like this venue and this event.
Oh yeah. How can you not like it? Let me show you a little bit around, you guys. So there's the range where the guys are warming up right now.
Nice.
There's the tower where we're staying, and there's a river between where you see the trees, and there's a riverboat that takes people across. You can see one coming in. I don't know if you can see that.
No.
And then the range here, and I'm in the Academy building. You can see the mats right there.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where the players and the caddies come to their locker rooms and the food. And there's a short game area on that side. And then you've got a little restaurant over here. So it's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, the venue that they have there is amazing.
Yeah, the Vedanta resort here is unbelievable. You saw all the towers, all the different hotels. They actually have, all kinds of electric shuttles to bring people around. All kinds of restaurants, beaches, and stuff like that. So, it's a pretty cool place to bring a family for a holiday, that's for sure.
Yeah, and it's perfect for all the tour pros with their families, right? Like, it's one of those events that the whole family can go out to, and there's something to do for everybody, and the kids are taken care of, so it's really nice.
The kids get to ride a golf cart all week, How good is that?
Yeah.
And there's the gondola that goes through the whole resort, so you can see it from the air, and it's extremely well done. The Pro-Am this week, Sav.
Yeah, you got to talk about
came
that.
In second. So we had our front nine was with Stefan Jaeger, really, really cool guy, very talkative and accommodating and inviting, so it was nice having conversations with him. And in the afternoon we had Bobby Shelton, who's a little more reserved, a little more business, and how could you not be, because it's such a huge business now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you could see Stefan was a little more relaxed. He was in the lead on the first day, and then he kind of stagnated the following two rounds, and he's out this morning for, he made the cut well. And then, but Robbie struggled a little bit and didn't make the cut, so he's off to the next event. I actually saw him in the elevator on the way out. It's no fun for a player when they don't make the cut, I can tell you that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
And the following day, the sponsors here, the Grupo Salinas, they had a big par 3 contest. There's a par 3 inside the complex here that is so beautiful, Sav.
I know we didn't get to play it last time.
Exactly. And it's so lush. And, they had, the open bar and, all kinds of amazing food. And everybody had, we had 2 people. I took one of the guys from that we did well with. His name is Yossi. He's from California. And we had a really great time over the Pro-Am. And they did so well. I mean, I put them in great positions. Yossi doesn't hit the ball very far, so when I got him close to the green off the tee, he shined. He made a bunch of eagles, and so we finished at -21. It was amazing.
That's nice.
So these guys actually carried me around the greens. It was awesome because my touch I haven't played since January, and then we won the par 3 contest. Isn't that cool?
Second place in the Pro-Am and then a first place in the par 3. That's pretty cool.
That's it. You guys are saying, "Hey, come on, give us a break." I don't know. I haven't won an event in a long time, and I'm kind of enjoying this. Right? That's some very nice prizes. I'm taking home a beautiful bottle of tequila and a nice trophy that it's a turtle with beautiful Mexican colors. It's going to look really nice in our living room.
My spirit animal.
That's nice. Yeah.
That's it.
Getting a second luggage to bring the rewards back.
Yeah. Well, the VIP gifts were kind of nice. We had a nice backpack with a jacket, and TaylorMade puts a really a nice show. So got shoes,
you got shoes.
Jackets. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's going to make a nice gift for somebody because we love our True shoes, and we're very true to that company. Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm going to be following Ryan Moore this morning, who's Jason Moore's brother, and he's part of the company. So it'll be really cool to say hello, and he knows I'm here. So I'll try to catch up with him after the round and see how he does.
Very cool.
So all in all, it's been an amazing week. We went out and played off-site a couple of days on the Friday and Saturday. So we didn't get to watch the event, but hey, we got to play some golf.
Yeah, that's nice.
We went to, it's called Vista Vallarta, and they have a Weiskopf and a Jack Nicklaus course. And Weiskopf definitely beat Jack Nicklaus on this one. The Weiskopf course is really, really nice. And the Nicklaus course is just too difficult for the average person.
Yeah.
You remember, Sam, we played it last year. And we should have played the Weiskopf course last year. It is really top notch.
Yeah, better than the Nicklaus one last year was tough for sure.
Yeah, I think he made it too difficult. I don't know what the theme was. He probably was commissioned to make a difficult course. It was hillier. It had massive bunkers in front of the green. So the guys I was playing with, I had no chance. They couldn't carry those bunkers. They couldn't hold the greens. And the tee shots were a little difficult for them as well. So, but the Weiskopf course was extremely user-friendly, had some nice openings in front of the greens. You can get up and down nicely. And so I think it's important nowadays to design golf courses that are more widely appreciated by more golfers. Right? Yeah. And then you can use the tee boxes and the fairway bunkers and things like that to make it a little more difficult for the seasoned player.
Yeah, because when we played it last year, it was like every time I got up to the tee box, I was like, oh, crud, what's the play here? Like, what's the, shot off the tee kind of thing? So it definitely gets you really thinking about what you need to do. I
still had trouble on hole number 6. I'm looking, there's a bunker at 240, a bunker at 260, and behind the bunker 260, it's the abyss. Mm-hmm. So you have this little sliver of 20-yard fairway to hit. Mm-hmm. And it's 450. The hole's 450. Yeah. And it's downhill, and you're thinking, maybe I'll fade a 3-wood. and I'm standing on the tee box looking down, and I'm going, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Right. So I hit it 3 inches behind the ball. I just chunked it down the fairway.
Oh no.
And had a horrible hole, but I had 5 birdies that day.
Yeah.
So when you're not clear about what the shot that you're going to hit, and the architect can't make it clear for you, it sucks.
Yeah.
It just flat out sucks. So, Jack, you missed that hole. You got to come back and redesign that hole, put a stick of dynamite in it. Okay.
I was, Moo hasn't been out there yet, but when we've been watching it on TV, we played the course last year and it's unreal at Vidanta. I was like, that is the perfect course for Moo. Like the holes are plenty long and they're wide open. I mean, Moo would just have a field day.
I spoke to Jorge and I said, listen, Jorge, the range and the facility, when they do split tees and they do a morning and an afternoon shift, there's a large portion of time between those shifts where the range is dead. There's nobody there. So I said, well, why don't we organize some clinics during those times, a couple hours a day, where we can do a clinic on how to get more distance with the driver, and short game and bunker shots, stuff that I get to help on the golf course, very, very small, so I can, the tips that I'm able to give on the golf course are very important. Remember Gabriel Sapp?
Yeah.
I showed him Goldilocks with momentum on his chipping. His chipping was horrible. It was just jabby stuff. He would jab at it and just chunk it, or, chip it over the green, and, stuff that a lot of people struggle with. And as soon as we did a simple Goldilocks, I took 5 minutes, brought him to the side, and I said, okay, here's too soft, too strong, just right, using momentum. The following day, Sab, we had another one of our guests that joined us. He came up to me, he says, hey, Gabriel's short game is really good. How much of how good of a testament is that?
Yeah.
To going from jabbing and having a hard time hitting the ball on the green from just 20 yards in front of the green to sticking it inside 10 feet all day.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
And then taking all the money.
Yeah, that's profound.
Oh, Gabriel had a big smile on his face, I'm telling you.
That's awesome.
And then Alejandro, who owns 3 of the soccer teams here in Mexico, he pulled me to the side. He says, "Yeah, you stop giving Gabriel tricks. I'm losing money here. Which is not good."
They're such a great group of guys.
Oh, it's incredible.
They're competitive.
The corporate atmosphere in Grupo Salinas is spectacular. It's such an amazing culture. I really enjoy Mexico. I enjoy the camaraderie and the acceptance. It's phenomenal.
They're like a big family over there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like when I met everybody, it was so cool. They were just, the nicest people that you will ever meet. And, they're so welcoming and just like genuinely want to get to know you as a person and know your story.
Everybody was asking about you. Hey, where's Savannah? How come she didn't come? And, I said, well, I'm here on a working capacity this week. So it's a little more business. It's nice to see you guys. But Jorge says, no, Sav is coming next year. And then I said, well, let's make some clinics and bring Moo too. He says, no problem. So
that's exciting news.
Yeah.
I had a question. Have you had a chance to check out some players, like seeing what they're doing differently in terms of changing up their game, trying to compete and stay on top? Because I'm sure a lot of guys have been tried different things all the time to kind of stay sharp.
Yeah, you see, I think golf is in transition right now. If I go back to just 20 years ago when I went to at PGA Tour events like the TPC at Avenel, when Greg Norman and Nick Faldo were the stars, and you'd see, the average tour player out there, and they're hitting it 260 off the tee, and average tour distance was 275, right? Now average is over 300.
Yeah.
And it is a completely different game. Now I go up and down the range here, and everybody's able to bomb it over 300 yards. It has turned into a major power game.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the USGA is looking at the situation, and they're cautious. And, that's why they're talking about reeling back the ball and things like that, because you get out on this golf course, man. I mean, John Rahm shooting 61 on like a 7,700 yard golf course.
Yeah.
Where you've got like 5 of the par 4s that are over 500 yards.
Yeah.
Like 498, 520.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
That's a different style of golf for sure.
It's like I'm glad when it's 520 on a par 5, I can get home in 2 with a long iron or a fairway wood, but I'm trying to use those holes to, get back at the bogeys that I made, right?
Yeah.
And these guys are like John Rahm. The 8th hole is this massive par 4. Sorry, I keep saying par 4, and it goes and then dog legs. So you have a major crosswind, and yesterday was really windy. It was windier than usual, and this dog leg turns towards the prevailing wind. And these guys are coming in with hybrids and fairway woods and very long irons. And he birdied the hole. So you birdie a hole like that, you take at least a stroke on the field, big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he made 10 birdies yesterday.
Yeah, that's insane. Like
in this wind. Yeah. So it's there are some birdie opportunities, but there are a lot of bogey opportunities too.
Yeah.
But it's cool that like you have that difference in courses, right? Out on tour, it's not every course that's that long. And so, when you see a guy like John Rahm making all those birdies on a course like that, I mean, that takes skill and talent and accuracy. And, that's also fun to watch. It's like, holy cow, this guy is making birdies on like over 500 yard par 4s. Like, that's cool to watch. Like, that's appealing.
It's so appealing. Like one shot I saw Tony Finau hit at 17, which is that 230 yard par 3 over water into the prevailing wind, which was blowing at 20 miles an hour yesterday. And he hits this gorgeous shot, starts it to the front of the green, which is right side, and draws it around the front bunker to the flagstick, and he's got like a 10-foot putt for birdie from that distance into that wind. And it's like, wow,
Yeah. And it's cool to see, the guys like Tony and John Rahm who have the distance to spare on courses like that. Like we were watching yesterday, and hole number 10 is a big par 4. And it's also a very tricky tee shot because the left side is just a bank. And then
it's a bank with rough.
Yeah, and then the right side is water. So most of the guys are taking drivers off that tee because they need the distance just to get into that fairway.
That's it.
And Tony was able to take just a smooth, easy 3-wood off the tee, put himself right in the middle of the fairway. One of the guys was left off the tee, and one of the guys was right in the water with drivers. So it's like, when you have that extra distance in the tank, it allows you to be more creative with your game rather than being like, oh, well, I only have driver as an option, and if I don't hit my driver properly, well, then I'm in the water, I'm in the rough on the bank.
That's right. And into the wind, it makes it that much more difficult. So, I mean, you hit it, and that's where Robbie Shelton hit his during the Pro-Am. He blocks it slightly, and I mean, it's not a big block. And puts it in the water. Then you got to drop behind because the lake is right there. The carry's about 275 to that lake.
Mm-hmm.
So all of them are easily carrying it in there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got to drop it, at behind the water there. And then from there, you've got like 240
Yeah.
on your third shot on a par 4,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's wild.
It's no bargain.
No.
The green is kind of elevated and it's got some pretty big swales in it.
Yeah.
So it's something. It is
10 is probably one of the toughest holes on that course.
Yeah.
Because I remember when we were playing the Pro-Am, the guys that we were, was it Bill that we were playing with? Yeah, we played with Bill on that hole.
Yeah.
And he was going in with like a 4-iron.
Yeah.
Into that green. I mean, he hit a great shot, but like a 4-iron into a par 4, like you got to be really accurate.
Yeah. They had us on the white tees during the Pro-Am, and I was able to put the drive 50 yards in front of the green.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. So as the boys really capitalized on that one. We had the pin surrounded inside 10 feet, and we knocked a couple of birdies in, so that was good.
Nice.
And these guys, it was birdie net eagle.
Oh, nice.
Oh, cool.
Because of course they got they had a stroke on that hole.
Mm-hmm.
Yossi was a 14 handicap, and our other player was Ramon was a solid 6 handicap. So, and they both had excellent short games. So it was a lot of fun.
How was hole number 12? That big old par 5.
Yeah, we did very well on that one. We actually had to use the other guy's tee shot. Ramon could hit it out there about 250. Mm. I had hit mine a little too far down the right-hand side, and we had a big parota tree in front.
Yeah.
And so the guys were not comfortable, carving a shot over that tree. So, I mean, I was fine with it, but the other two weren't. So we went to the ball that was in the middle of the fairway, and we placed it in front of the green, made a nice birdie on that one too.
You know what I saw on, I think it was Grillo, that's his name. Is it Grillo?
Yeah.
He was playing in John Rahm's group one of the days, and he
Emiliano,
he purposely went to the next fairway over so that he could have a shot into the green, avoiding that big tree.
Really?
Yeah, I saw that. John had hit his right down the middle, just past that fairway bunker, and then the second guy in the group trickled into the fairway bunker, and then Grillo was last to tee off, and he purposely went to the fairway over to the right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So that's number 14.
Yeah.
Wow. I wouldn't have thought of that one.
Yeah,
That's
it was pretty
creative.
cool.
Yeah.
When I saw his tee shot go, I was like, "Where's he going?"
Yeah, he had to wait a bit. He had to wait a bit for the fairway to clear up and make sure no one was there to get the shot hit by the.
Yeah, because
is it tee box?
From 11th green back to the 12th tee box, you got to go back a while, and it's all roped off. So
that's what it was.
People can't go there, so they have to go to the left and go down the fairway and wait for them to hit it down the fairway. So it's kind of one of the inaccessible tee shots that the guys are hitting. That's a long hole from back there, Sav.
Oh man, I know. I mean, that's one of the holes that you need to be able to carry a distance because
it's 600-yard par 5. Yeah, it's one of the 600-yard par 5s.
660s.
Yeah, that's true. There's another 600-yard par 5, and it's so long, this course.
Yeah, it's
this
wild.
Hole 6 is pretty long, to 602 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Very cool.
But they still do. They still have that drivable par 4 on the front 9.
Yeah, we really enjoyed that. We capitalized on that. We put 2 of them on the green. With Ramon, I put a 3-wood on the green on that one. So that's a nice birdie hole right there. But then you have to make birdie there before you face number 8.
Yeah.
Just to make up some shots.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because even from the white tees, number 8 is not a bargain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you got OB left and you got water right. It's just, and into nasty breeze and elevated green.
Oh yeah, that one is tough.
That's the hole that
that Cameron Champ had a fit on
Cameron
last year.
Champ triple bogey last year. I mean, it's a disaster in the making. If like you have to hit a tee shot and you have to hit a second shot, or else.
Yeah.
You just have to really, tighten your belt and go.
Yeah. Honestly, Vianta might be one of my favorite courses I've ever played.
The what?
One of my favorite courses that I've ever played.
Wow.
It's just, first of all, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a beautiful atmosphere here.
And second, the holes are, yes, long, but they're very well, shaped and laid out. Yeah. And it's not overly difficult if you're choosing the right options off the tee.
Yeah.
So it's like a good challenge. It's beautiful, and the holes are have breathing room.
Yeah, it's even nicer this year, Sav. I mean, it's like I like it even more this year.
Really?
Yeah, it's you could hang around here for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, just watching on TV, the greens look amazing out there for the players.
Doesn't it look great on TV?
So good.
Yeah, it does.
It really does, and in person, it looks incredible.
Yeah.
Are the greens pretty fair in terms of reads and
speed?
Yeah, they're not that tricky.
Okay.
We made some good putts. They read pretty much the way they see. There are some subtleties that are easy to miss.
Okay.
But if you get, hopefully you can get one of the greens books that the caddies have.
Oh yeah.
Here,
Yeah.
Get your hands on one of those and play around with one of those books. I think you could do pretty good.
Yeah.
So apart from that, how's everything going at home? Am I gonna be able to play golf when I get home?
I think so. By the time we get back, given the weather, it's starting to look better as the days go on. It's warming up, and we get some rain to wash off most of the snow that's still lying around, hanging on the course.
Yeah, it's a really late start, compared to two years ago when we started mid-April.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this year's just been
drag.
A drag. It's been odd.
But yesterday or a couple of days ago when we went out for a walk with the dogs here, they were putting up the targets on the range.
Have they taken the tarps off the greens?
Yep.
Yeah. The greens are looking good, and some
the greens are looking good.
Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness.
There's only a couple that have a little patches here and there, but I think from the email that they sent out, the greens are 80% and above. Good. Yeah.
And the fairways look pretty good, Moon?
Fairways looking better. They just need to clean up the debris from the freezing rain that we had.
There's so much debris on the course. It's actually wild.
Many, it's like that storm we had on December 23rd.
Yeah.
Was like a storm of the century for Quebec City. Mm-hmm. We had 120 km/h winds, which is about 80 miles an hour. And we lost a lot of shingles on our roof at the house. And then we didn't realize that we also lost our travel trailer at the campsite. They had a huge storm surge come up the St. Lawrence River because we get tides in Quebec City. So the wind was blowing from the east, and it blew all kinds of ice and water into the campsite and literally destroyed a bunch of trailers.
Yeah.
Including ours, and we only found out in the spring. So here we are, negotiating with insurance companies to get our trailer back, so that we can go back out and get to Connecticut and enjoy our trips to Connecticut and long drive competitions and with Riley's races. It's so much more fun when we have a travel trailer to do that.
Yeah. The golf course shows that storm because a week ago, 2 weeks ago, it was a hot mess.
It was what?
A hot mess.
A hot mess?
Yeah.
So the grounds crew are really busy getting all the dead, all the downed trees out of the way.
As much as they can.
There must have been a lot of downed trees.
Yeah, like it's going to take pretty much the whole season to kind of get rid of some spots of broken trees.
Yeah. Could you imagine if the leaves had been on the trees with that kind of wind? Wow, that's basically a hurricane force wind.
Yeah,
like that was the equivalent of a Category 1 hurricane that came through.
Yeah, the branches and like pine cones and this and that are just littered on the fairways is insane.
The poor trees, they lost their stuff, right?
Yeah.
Well, we took a picture the other day when we went, and one of the big trees that lines the right side of 14 Royal.
Yeah.
Like the meter diameter big tree on the right side, it's gone. It split.
Wow.
It exploded.
Yeah.
I took a picture of it with Savvy standing behind it just to show the...
It exploded.
Yeah, literally.
It looked like it got twisted and it just gave out.
Could you imagine the poor squirrel hibernating in that thing?
Oh, the rude awakening.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, so we got a fine day here. I'm going to be going to follow a few of the guys, and we have so if you guys are watching, if you've watched the tournament by the time you've listened to this, you hopefully have seen me in the hospitality tent waving, watching the guys come in at 18. And then after that, so we're off to Mexico City tonight, and tomorrow morning I'm heading out to Los Angeles. And so we've got a nice gig lined up for the week in LA. We have a couple of clients that hired me for the week, and then I'll be back to see you guys on I guess May 5th, May 8th. I'll be back May 8th. Yeah.
Cool.
Back to home base.
Do you see any players that do what Duval or Annika Sorenstam do in terms of looking at the target?
Yes. One of the hotter players right now on the Corn Ferry Tour is his last name is Gerard.
Probably Gerard. Yeah.
He's got super strong grip like Sav.
Mm-hmm.
Like if he had a 6 knuckle, he'd have it on the club.
Jeez.
At the top of the backswing, his club face is more closed than you, Sav.
Oh.
And he plays a straight fade. And you watch him through impact, his head is way down the fairway.
That's cool.
So the video that we have this week, for those of you who are struggling to get through the golf ball, and you've tried everything, and and you feel like the golf ball is an impediment, right? A physical impediment that you can't get past. So we had a beautiful video last week on how to hit with your eyes closed and move. I mean, you shined in that, you did it for the first time and you just absolutely pummeled the ball.
Thanks.
Had no issues whatsoever. And then you realize that this video that we posted this week about how to release your head towards your target, because if you look at one of the videos that is extremely popular with what we teach, the throwing the club video, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you were to throw your club down range, a lot of people would do that. They like to turn their heads toward the target to throw the club down range. So if you're able to throw the golf club down in the direction that you want it to go and not do it to the left like a lot of people do, and you can do it through an intermediate point, there are tremendous benefits to that. And if you have a good prediction process, if you on our premium channel, you would see the predict contact and the Goldilocks series. So you know how to put the right ball position, the right distance to ball, the right grip club relationship, and the right levels, the right posture, right? So if you have a good dynamic posture at address, then you can literally throw the club down the range with the prediction that the ball will start in the direction that you want it to go. The ball will fly in the air the way you want it to with the right curvature and be struck solidly. That's all a prediction process based on you throwing the club down range. So now you could actually turn your head and disregard the ball. So I'm thinking we got to dig into this for our teaching and really show our students that struggle. It's like, I'm trying to send my dandelion stem and I keep hitting it fat. Or I'm trying to send the grass clippings and I get stuck. I still get stuck at the ball. So for a lot of people that they've trained their brain for 20 years, when they look down at the ball, they just go, ball hit ball.
Yeah.
And they just can't get away from that. Well, how about we just turn to the target and predict that the ball is in the way and just send it down that way. And you'll see me in the video. I got no issues with it whatsoever.
Yeah.
And when I do it that way, I still hit the ball very solidly and the ball goes where I want it to. It's just a very different experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and Annika Sorenstam kind of dabbled between the two. The majority of the time, I'd say 80% of the time, she would turn her head completely. I mean, at impact, her head was here. Mm-hmm. And Duval was like way down there.
Yeah, I did notice some videos that Annika would kind of switch between the two styles of swinging. Yeah.
Exactly. And then Gerard is way down there. And you look at Carl Peterson, who was a staple on the PGA Tour for a solid 15 years. He's way down there with his eyes. Doesn't look at the ball at all. It's just like it's an afterthought. So,
would you say Joaquin Niemann has something close to that?
It's very similar. Very similar. Who was that? The amateur who did well at the Masters this year. He also tends to do that as well.
Oh,
so let's keep our eyes peeled. I did notice a couple more. I don't have their names, but I remember seeing a couple of guys on the range this week, and there are a couple more guys that actually do that significantly as well. So
cool.
It's very cool.
All right.
It's very cool.
It's good to see that still be.
Pay more attention to that.
Yeah, it's good to see that still some aspect of the swing that's helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth trying out, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at how simple it is. So in that video, we describe it quite well, and it's just a matter of having the right tilt axis through the shot. But then you think about it, Moo. Mm-hmm. If you throw the club that way, you can't throw it that way from here.
No, you can't.
You have to be here to throw it that way. So you're turning your head with the proper tilt. As long as you're throwing it in the direction that you want to start the ball, you will have the proper axis. So you don't even have to worry about having the proper tilt. Mm-hmm. All you got to worry about is throwing it in the direction that you want to start it. Mm-hmm. It's, so it's really cool. The discoveries that we're still experiencing, the learning that we're still, having as very seasoned teachers.
Yeah, I was trying it out yesterday with different clubs, and I noticed certain clubs I was able to do it very efficiently and easily. Some clubs I needed to adjust in terms of length. Like, it's a lot easier with the pitching wedge to the 8-iron, but then as I get to the 7 to the 4, I had to time it a little differently and adjust to the length of the. It was just on like one of those sessions where you kind of had to learn something that my anatomy had to adjust to. But it was still worth trying for sure.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Have you tried it, Sal?
No, not yet.
You actually have a little bit of that in your swing.
Yeah.
it's, and I have to be very careful as a teacher, again, to allow my students, if that's what they need to do, to go to the target. So as a lefty, if I'm seeing you do this, why would I try to prevent you from doing that?
Mm-hmm.
As long as you feel like you're getting out there,
Yeah.
and you're releasing your speed and your velocity into the picture, if you're finding the line that you want to start your ball on, and you're finding your windows with that, it's like, hats off, let's go.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, these things move.
Oh yeah, the no sweat.
Oh, phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, it's really good.
The best.
Yeah.
It's been quite warm, and we were out and, playing playing out in the sun, and you have to really hydrate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so I'm actually in the hot weather having to go to the bathroom. So I'm
It's good.
keeping my H2O in there. And typically even on a brand new hat, at the end of the round, you have this band of sweat there that you have to put your hat in the dishwasher and get that out. And it is pristine, and it's so comfortable. I'm putting it on. I don't feel like the sweat is building up in there, and it's just fantastic product. So the no sweat product is definitely Wisdom in Golf approved.
Just got to replace it after a few days, though.
Well, after a few times, I'm sure you probably have to, but I mean, it'll dry.
Yeah. It'll dry. It'll dry. It's just that
it'll dry out, and then I gave it the old smell afterwards.
That's it, right?
And it didn't smell at all. And actually, at the end of my round, it was relatively dry.
Wow.
So it is a really interesting material. It actually reminds me of the material inside our catalyst suits.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
The pad that we wet.
Yeah, the pads that cover the
you feel
electrodes.
The material of that pad, and it's very similar to that.
Yeah.
So I think these things are durable. You can actually use them for a long period of time. So if it starts smelling like a football locker room, then you replace it.
Yeah. That's the rule of thumb there for sure.
All right. That's like a torture chamber. I remember Sav, we went to visit what was the name of that university on the west side of Toronto?
Oh, Guelph.
We went to Guelph, right? And you had a game there.
Mm-hmm.
And we went in to visit the locker rooms for the soccer team, because it was between Guelph and Queens for you.
Yeah.
To play university soccer. And I walk in, and the locker room for the football team was there, and Moo is like,
ripe.
Ripe. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was very ripe. It was like a little gag reflex.
Had little tears in your eyes.
Oh, it's like, wow.
The fumes that just like seep out of there, just like.
Oh my God. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So if you ever have the pleasure of going to a university town and you're walking by a locker room, you want to experience that for yourself, it's like, just stick your nose in the door. That's all you need.
That's funny.
Yeah. So I'm going to head back out. I'm going to go check out Ryan Moore on the range right now, and I'll see you guys later.
Very cool. Have fun.
And,
Have fun.
Looking forward to speaking with you again next week from Los Angeles.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
All right. All the best, you guys.
Enjoy.
Thanks for joining.